On a quiet morning in the forest, Masha awoke to the sound of birds chirping as they danced among the tall branches of the trees. The gentle breeze carried with it the scent of wildflowers, and the dew sparkled on the leaves of the bushes like drops of diamonds. Masha stretched a little on the soft grass, then got up, rubbing her eyes sleepily, a small smile forming on her bright face. As for the bear, he was, as usual, busy in his small garden, picking some ripe fruits and placing them in a wicker basket. He was planning to make his beloved fresh strawberry jam, but Masha, with her curious and energetic nature, wouldn't let him finish his work in peace. She said, jumping in front of him, "Good morning, bear. What are we going to do today? I want a new adventure." The bear smiled calmly and placed the basket on the table. "An adventure? You have an adventure every day, Masha. Isn't it enough what we did yesterday when you climbed the tallest tree in the forest and nearly fell?" Masha laughed lightly, "But that's not enough. I want something bigger, something that has never happened before." Suddenly, while she was running between the trees, she stumbled upon an old wooden box half buried in the ground. It was oddly shaped, painted with worn golden engravings. She ran towards the bear, shouting, "Look, bear! I found something amazing." The bear knelt down and examined the box carefully, then opened it slowly. Suddenly, an ancient scent wafted out, reminiscent of papyrus and historical books. Inside was a very old map, written in black ink, surrounded by intricately drawn images of deer, alongside ancient Egyptian symbols resembling hieroglyphs. Masha read the words with a trembling voice: "The great deer race, held once every 1,000 years, in ancient Egypt, and the winner receives the eternal sun crown." Her eyes widened, and she said excitedly, "Oh bear! This is what I was looking for." The bear hesitated a little, knowing that anything related to time travel would bring him a lot of trouble. But he saw the determination in Masha's eyes, so he nodded, saying, "All right, but we must be careful. This is not a game." They held the map together, and suddenly a radiant portal opened before them, as if it were a door of light leading them to another world. Their hands intertwined, and they stepped inside the portal. In the blink of an eye, they found themselves in the heart of pharaonic Egypt. The pyramids towered in the distance, the Nile sparkled under a golden sun, and farmers worked in the fields wearing white linen garments. The sounds of drums echoed around, and a royal procession passed by. Masha exclaimed in astonishment, "Wow! We are really in ancient Egypt. Look, bear! The pyramids! The Nile! Everything here is amazing." While the bear was astonished by the grandeur of the civilization, Masha noticed that everyone was talking about a great upcoming event, the legendary deer race. It was to be held in a vast plain near the pyramids. Masha approached a group of small Egyptian children sitting by the banks of the Nile. She asked them eagerly, "Do you know about the deer race?" One of them smiled and said, "Yes, it's the greatest event of this year." Masha looked at the bear with determination. "We will enter the race, bear. I will be the first foreign girl to win in ancient Egypt." The bear opened his eyes in disbelief. "What? You? Are you joking?" But Masha didn't listen. She ran towards the market where farmers were showcasing their deer. There, she found a small deer with a golden brown color, looking different from the others, with bright eyes as if it held a special secret. She approached it gently, and it raised its head and didn't run away, allowing her to touch its neck. Masha said happily, "This is the right deer for me. I will participate in the race with it." The owner of the deer, an elderly Egyptian man, smiled and said, "He chose you himself, little one. His name is Star. He has never allowed anyone to touch him before. It seems fate has brought you together." Masha felt proud, while the bear sighed, "Well, there's no escaping now. But I will be with you the whole time." The day of the great race arrived. People gathered from all over Egypt, sitting in massive stone stands. The sound of drums filled the air. Colorful flags fluttered, and priests raised prayers to the gods. The competitors stood beside their deer, and they were strong men wearing luxurious outfits, looking at Masha with astonishment. One whispered to another, "Is it possible that this girl is participating in the race? What a disgrace!" But Masha stood confidently beside her dear star, while the bear waved to her from the stands. The high priest raised his hand and announced in a loud voice, "Let the great deer race begin. And may the winner wear the eternal sun crown." And the race began. The deer ran like lightning across the desert. Dust rose into the sky. Masha's heart raced, but she held tightly to the reins of her deer. Star was fast and agile, leaping lightly between the rocks, knowing the way as if it had participated in the race before. The other competitors tried to hinder her, some threw sand in her deer's face, while others blocked her path. But she was clever, using her agility to find side paths, remembering what she had learned from her games in the forest. As the Egyptian children cheered in the stands, "Cheer up, little one! Go, Star!" As they approached the finish line, the strongest competitor was a tall man riding a massive black deer. He smiled confidently as he neared victory. But Star suddenly sped up with incredible speed, as if propelled by the very light of the sun. Masha shouted, "Come on, Star! We can do it!" The deer leapt gracefully and overtook everyone at the last moment, crossing the finish line first. The stands erupted with applause and cheers. The high priest raised his hands and announced, "The winner of the great deer race, Masha." The Egyptian children ran towards her, lifting her onto their shoulders, while the deer was adorned with a crown of flowers. The priest came and placed a small golden crown decorated with the sun symbol on Masha's head. He said to her with a smile, "You have achieved what no one has done before. The courage of your heart is the secret of your victory." As for the bear, tears of joy filled his eyes as he waved to her, "Well done, Masha, you did the impossible." After the grand celebration, the old man led Masha and the bear to an ancient temple, where the map opened again. The radiant portal appeared once more, and they returned to their forest. Masha sat by the bear's house and said proudly, "I won, bear. I knew I could." The bear laughed as he presented her with the strawberry jam he had prepared before their journey. "Yes, but next time, a quiet adventure, please." Masha laughed loudly as they remembered the most beautiful adventure they had in ancient Egypt.